Well, I was actually on a shoot for Foxtel in Adelaide, and it was about 6 weeks before that I'd had quite a large BCC removed from my face, and this was sort of the first shoot back on camera. Needless to say, I was fairly paranoid about it, and I sort of rang the lighting director and I said, "You're really going to have to look after me. I've got this big scar on my face." He said, "No worries, Deb." So I rocked up, and there's this makeup artist I hadn't worked with before, and she said, "Look, just trust me, I'll cover it, it'll be fine." And I just went, "Whatever you can do." Anyway, so I didn't look in the mirror, and when she'd finished, I couldn't believe the result. I was looking, and I said, you cannot even tell where the scar is." And I said, "What is that stuff?" And she said, "It's DMK, it's their cosmetic range." And I was absolutely flabbergasted. It was just, my skin looked perfect. And I thought, you know, if this is the makeup, what's the skincare? It's interesting, you know, if you want to sort of get a bit of a health and body check, you go to a specialist, and I do every couple of years. I go in and get a full-blown health check to sort of see how you're travelling. It's the same thing if your hair's limp, you think, okay, I'm going to change my shampoo. Well, DMK's approach is about going, okay, let's just really look at what's going on with your skin and tell you about where you're at. And the thing is, I'm about to turn 50, well, I'm pretty much there already, and I thought this is a really good time in my life to sort of go back and say, okay, let's see how it's travelling. The thing that I love about it is the fact that it's a very specific approach. It actually looks really at what's happening with your skin over the years, what you've done to it, the sun factor, all that stuff, and they start treating you for what is going on with your skin specifically. It's not a blanket solution. It's about dealing with what's happening with you. I met Danne a few months ago, and he's this wonderfully eccentric scientist come cosmetic chemist who seriously knows his stuff. He has a different approach, I suppose, to most other skincare companies, in that they treat the surface of the skin, whereas Danne looks into why your skin is like that, you know, your history, what's happened, and then he deals with your skin and the condition it is to produce these sort of great results. I mean, I've been doing some treatments now for a couple of months, and I have to tell you, my skin is vastly different to where I started. Well, the treatments, it's interesting. I went to see the girls at the salon, and they just sort of looked at me and said, okay, we're going to have to sort of take it back and exfoliate. And I thought, well, it sort of reminds me of if you're going to build a house, you kind of got to remove it to rebuild it, right? So it's the same kind of thing. So we've done a series of really gentle exfoliation. There's a thing called, I think it's an alkaline wash, which is kind of a bit tingly on the skin. And then over sort of a course of a couple of days, it's amazing. your skin just becomes sort of brighter and more refined. And then the thing that really cracked me up the first time I had this treatment, it's some enzyme mask. I call it the mummy mask because it reminds me of being like Tutankhamun. There's like 3 different enzyme masks that they're applying on you, and it gets so tight, you're sitting there and talking about it, and you're lying there for 40-something minutes, and you think, oh, I'm going to get this thing off. And when it comes off, your skin is unbelievable. It is so plump, it is like shining, and it's firm. And I've had a number of them now, and every time I look forward to it because I quite like sitting there like that. But when I come out, it's just, your skin is unbelievable. So they've got some really, really interesting treatments that do incredible things. Well, look, it's been a couple of months now, and I've had quite a number of treatments. I've been using all the at-home products, and I have to say, I think my skin is, I know it looks healthier, it's firmer. There's a sort of a better colour tone, I suppose, much better tone. It feels sort of plump and more hydrated. And honestly, I don't do any Botox, I don't do anything like this. This is my way to the future for me. This is what I want. I want to look after my skin and give it the best possible treatment it can have. And so I look now and I think, yeah, I'm thinking it's looking pretty damn good. Look, I think the difference with most skincare brands is you buy it, you read what it says, you take it home and hope that it does the trick. The thing about DMK that I like is the fact that you go there and you have these amazing treatments and they're really working on the skin, and then all you have to do is go home and maintain it. And I reckon that's a far better solution. I have to tell you, the hardest thing about working in television these days is the fact that you're working with high definition cameras. Now, I got to tell you, there is no forgiveness. These zero in on you. I mean, years ago we had sort of softer cameras, and and it was all very forgiving, but not now. They see every pore, every line. So this is why I'm a huge fan of the cosmetic range, because I said once you put that primer on, you're giving yourself that beige, that very, very clean sort of canvas to work from. Then you've got this lovely sort of light makeup. You don't need a lot of it, so you're not packing it on, but you've got great coverage. And that to me is why I think it's just the perfect cosmetic brand if you're on camera.